Welcome to Storytime with Pastor Steve. Today's story is Ruth and Naomi. It's based on the Old Testament book of Ruth. It is written by Ann Jennings and illustrated by the Vasero Associates. "Young Obed, you are 8 today," said Granny Naomi. "Have you a wish that I could grant? I'll do so happily." "Tell me a story," Obed cried. "Of course," old Naomi replied. "I'll tell you one I love to repeat, of how your parents happened to meet. You'll like it here. Sit down, young man, and hear just how it all began. It was like this. For many months, no gentle rain at all. In great and lovely silver drops on Bethlehem would fall. In Israel we could not stay. Our family had to move away and live for many days and nights among the friendly Moabites. How long, how long? The boy asked eagerly. For 10 whole years, said Naomi. What happened then? He wished to know. My husband and my sons were dead. I started back for Bethlehem, my old home, she said. Now one dead son had left a wife, a Moabite, who joined her life with ours, although a foreigner. Her name was Ruth, and we loved her. My journey had not yet begun when Ruth said, Mother, we are one, and you and I must never part. You know that you have all my heart. The same bright sun on us will shine. Your God, your people shall be mine. Oh, that's very sweet. When we arrived in Bethlehem, we had no food to eat. Ruth gathered up the fallen grains off barley and off wheat in rich Boaz's ripened field. Ruth made some flour with the yield. Boaz watched eagerly and then invited her to come again. And that, young Obed, don't forget, is how your own two parents met. I like that story, Obed cried. I'm very glad to know that Ruth, my mother, came with you because she loved you so. It was God's will, said Naomi, that she should follow willingly. It was God's will, I now repeat, that she and good Boaz should meet. But let me tell you what he said before he and your mother wed. One day I watched the workmen as they gathered up the sheaves and stored them in Boaz's barn, right to the very eaves. I saw Ruth gather busily, with moments neat as they could be, the grains the workers left behind as Boaz wished for her to find. Her gentle voice, then his, I heard. I understood each single word. She spoke, I am a stranger here. Why are you kind to me? I'm kind because you've won my heart by your good deeds, said he. And then he left her all alone. She stood there as he turned to stone and looked before her, did not speak, a lovely blush upon her cheek, bright as the red gold ray of sun that evening when the day was done. When all the grain had gathered and the harvest sun hung high, like a great golden blessing in the lovely autumn sky, Ruth and good Boaz were wed. I cried for joy, then bowed my head and thanked God for the splendid son and daughter dear whom I have won. Boaz and Ruth and I, we three, then lived together happily. God blessed our work and made each day a time of simple joy. Then you were born to make us glad, a handsome baby boy. And we believe, we're sure it's true, that God has special plans for you. What plans, he cried, Boaz's son, will be the forerunner of the one who will come down from heaven above to teach the world to live in love. The boy had listened thoughtfully to old Naomi's word. Her story was the very best that he had ever heard. He liked the bright thought of the birth of him who should bring love to earth, and then he spoke with great delight the name of Ruth the Moabite, who lived and so unselfishly a life of love for Naomi. It is wonderful when we love people, especially if it's somebody we don't know real well. It's great if we take time to get to know each other and serve each other and love each other. We don't have to be family to be friends. So God calls us to share love with everybody, and not just the people we know, but everybody. So if you're at the grocery store, hold the door open for somebody. If you are at a restaurant, say please and thank you. Be nice and share God's love to everyone you come in contact with. May God bless you today.